Call of Cthulhu is a horror role-playing game and may not be suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, Internet. Mike Bertolini here. The audio for the episode 3 of Beyond the Mountain of Madness did not save. And so I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what happened, sort of some brief highlights. And then, after the next episode, a new video will release. Hopefully there won't be any problems with its recording. And episode began with Norman finding out that Captain Douglas had arrived in town and he was going to go meet the captain, as he had been directed to. At that same time, Alva went to the ship to just do some normal work around. And she wanted to check on her little hidey hole, as she calls it. But I focused a lot more on Norman during this episode, because Norman went to see Captain Douglas and found out that Captain Douglas was not thrilled to be meeting with Norman. He wasn't thrilled at all with the whole expedition. He didn't want to go back to Antarctica. He had enough with the Miskatonic expedition. But he was in town, and he told Norman to wait in a little cafe about an hour before Douglas returned. So Norman went to the hotel, went to the cafe. Captain Douglas never returned. Norman, while waiting, was trying to drink some really cheap coffee, and a reptilian humanoid ran in, disguised itself as Norman, and pretended to be him when a blood-covered man with a shotgun came rushing in, demanding to know the reasons behind something that happened. Norman made some luck rolls, did some convincing conversations, and convinced the bloody man to kill the reptilian before committing self-harm on himself. Norman ran when the police were called. The police did not make their sanity rolls and were taken away to an asylum to basically suffer their mental breakdowns. But that's all done off screen. Norman returned to the hotel, where he actually encountered Alva, talked to her, sort of. There was a lot of guys flirting with Alva this episode, and Alva's a teenager, like a young teenager, which really threw me. But Norman was one of them, and he was flirting with her, and he went to return to the hotel where Douglas is staying, and Alva followed him. Alva did not make her stealth rolls, and Norman knew that he was being followed. Norman and Alva both went to Douglas's hotel, broke in, and began searching around. They discovered that Douglas really didn't want to be there, and he was upset that Starkweather had used him to get other people to join the expedition. Norman and Alva went back to the hotel. They went their separate ways. Norman went to the ship. Alva back to the hotel. When Norman was at the ship, Alva's uncle returned with cages for the dogs that did not fit on the ship as they were supposed to. So they had to proceed to disassemble and then disassemble and reassemble the crates that the dogs would stay in while they were on the journey to Antarctica. So getting to know him, Norman revealed some pretty slightly unnerving details, but Alva's uncle didn't really believe him. he made his own roles really well and maintained his sense of sanity. Um, and that was basically where the episode ended. Everybody went back to bed, went back to the hotel, the day over, and the episode ended with Norman having dinner with Alva's uncle. Starkweather does want to leave even sooner because he found out that Lexington was leaving. And Alva, in her wisdom, has decided that she was going to stow away on Lexington's boat, Lieutenant Tallahassee, and see what's sort of going on there. When it makes port, she's going to go get off and go onto Starkweather's and Moore's and go back to her hidey hole there. Since they're both ships are taking the same exact path, she figures that they're going to stop at the same location, stop at the same ports. Yeah, so we're going to see where that goes. So you'll be able to catch an updated episode in a few weeks. All right, thanks for watching. No, this is not the video you were expecting, but it's the video you're getting. Hopefully the audio and video will be fine and record fine for the next episode. But otherwise, thanks for your interest. And remember to join our Patreon because thanks to Alva's decision, I have to flesh out the Tallahassee crew. And any NPCs would be more than welcome to join. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.